Growing up in the 2000s, one company who seemed to create half the things I watched was Disney. And around 20 years later, not much has changed. Especially since Disney owns like fucking everything and has a streaming service with a ton of stuff, including 18 seasons of Family Guy. Seriously, all I've been doing with my life the last like month is watching Family Guy episodes over and over and over. God, these Ontario lockdowns really suck. Anyways, why in the hell am I talking about Disney? Well, when I was a kid, I watched a ton of Disney Channel shows, even though I did not grow up with the Disney Channel.
What? What the fuck?
Let me explain. I grew up with the Family Channel, which aired Disney Channel shows in Canada, as well as Canadian-made shows. So that was my way of watching many shows made by Disney, including one I feel is pretty much forgotten at this point. There are a few reviews of the show on YouTube, but I almost never hear anyone talk about it anymore. It was a cartoon that aired from 2000 to 2004, and well, it was kinda weird.
Everybody's running and the world gets so crazy.
Yes, today we are talking about Disney's The Weekenders, a show that came and went and, as I said before, basically forgotten. Is there a reason why the show is forgotten? I believe so, but we will get into that shortly. Disney's The Weekenders follows the adventures of four 12-year-old kids. The kids are Tino, who is essentially the most main character of the show as he talks to the camera at the start and end of every episode, and we see him more than the other three characters, such as scenes where he's asking his mom for advice about whatever problem him and his friends are having. Carver was kind of the token black character of the group, but he is a guy who is obsessed with ladies, being cool, and fashion. Lore, who is a tomboy obsessed with sports and video games. She also has 14 brothers. Jesus Christ, his parents need to learn what a fucking condom is.
Because as we all know, safe sex is the best!
Lastly, we got Tish, who is the brains of the group. She is smart and loves theater. Personally, she isn't always that bad, but there are times where she is very annoying. She is definitely my least favorite character of the four. The show follows these four as they try to make the best out of every weekend, hence why the show is called The Weekenders. They do things like get pizza, play arcade games, hang out at the beach, and all types of things. Every episode though usually has some sort of problem that happens Friday night, is explored upon on Saturday, and is solved by Sunday. So yeah, the show is quite formulaic. That is where I feel we see one of the problems with the show. It can be pretty boring. Now, not every episode is boring, but the thing with The Weekenders is, unlike a lot of the cartoons Disney was airing at the time, like Kim Possible and Recess, The Weekenders was more dialogue driven as opposed to visual and action driven like most of Disney's other cartoons. That was basically just a nice way of saying most of the show is just the characters talking. That isn't always a bad thing if what is being talked about is interesting or engaging, and sometimes you get that in the show, but unfortunately, a lot of the time it's just kinda meh, which basically describes the whole show. It's not bad or good, it's just meh, and that's exactly why no one remembers it. I mean, just compare it to shows at the time like Disney's Recess, for example. Similarly to The Weekenders, Recess follows a group of kids and their adventures. This time it's at recess instead of the weekend. Key difference here though is Recess is just more entertaining. Dialogue and visuals are just better. Look at this scene in Recess and you will see what I mean.
Cover me. I'm going in.
See, this is interesting. The visuals and the tone keep you interested and engaged in what's going on. The Weekenders, for the most part, doesn't have that. Most of the show is basically just talking. Talk in a pizza joint, talk in an arcade, talk at home, talk here, talk there. There's tons of talking. If the show had a little more going on, it would be considered one of the great Disney Channel shows, mainly because I think this premise for a show is amazing. The amount of things these kids can do on a weekend is basically endless, with plenty of room for creativity. Some episodes they explore that a bit, but again, most of the show is just talking, and it gets kind of boring, and that sucks. Granted, with all that said, it is still not a bad show. Characters are pretty solid and decently memorable. There's some okay jokes here and there, and also the theme song kicks absolute ass. Sung by Wayne Brady, most famous for his constant appearances on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Thank goodness for my mom that I was made. It was 27 years ago that my dad got laid. That's right, you see, upon closer inspection, I'm standing here cause he didn't use protection.
By the way, I think I may do a video on this show cause fuck me is it hilarious. I found myself laughing several times while trying to find clips for this video.
singing a song about a vending machine. Don't you know that it's really not my scene? Trying to think of something clever with a little twist. If we do another hoedown, I'll slit my fucking wrist.
Anyways, Wayne does a killer job on the theme song, and it couldn't be catchier. Seriously, the main thing I remember about this show was this song. Also this, from the very first episode of the show.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. You can't ruin your friendship with Laura just because you don't want to discuss feelings. If you do, I'll have you arrested.
Jesus, hoping someone gets arrested for not talking about their feelings is kind of insane. In the end though, the main reason why people have forgotten The Weekenders is simply because it's just okay. The main reason people remember shows, movies, or anything really is for two main reasons. They remember it because of how good it was or how bad it was. When something is just okay, it tends to be forgotten because, well, it's just okay. It's simple as that. And that is where we will be ending this video. If you enjoyed what you saw and want to see more, then hit the like button to let me know, and also subscribe and ring the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. If you got any recommendations for videos, let me know down below, or pledge to me on Patreon to get your recommendation reviewed for sure. Anyways, it is time to go for now, so take care.
Okay. Later days.